Hi everybody, welcome to Geeksvana Live. It's great to see you all in the chat this morning and this afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, of course. Thank you for joining us for this impromptu live stream. I've really been enjoying doing these little live streams where we sort of pop up with a story here and there. I think it adds to the content nicely, and it's something that, as I say, I enjoy bringing you some of these more unusual, more sort of different types of news stories. Today, we're going to be talking about the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. Have to practice that name sometimes. It's a long name, which of course is the new contender on the block for the sub 250 gram marketplace, and it is a drone that has certainly a lot of the hobby nervous from the point of view of will it perform, but obviously an awful lot of the hobby hopeful as well. I put myself in the hopeful camp that this could actually come through, maybe with a update or two to be able to be a competitor for the DJI Mini series. Because no matter how much you love the DJI Mini series, if there's a really great competitor out there for it, if there's an affordable, great, solid drone that does exactly what it says on the tin and has comparable specs or even better specs, it's going to push DJI for the first time to actually do something, basically to really innovate with their drone rather than this almost Apple-esque iteration that we're starting to see. Very quickly say hi to the people that are joining us in the chat. Thank you for coming along to see us. Drone Life RC is off to work, so he's going to catch the replay. And if you're watching the replay, I really appreciate you doing so. A lot of these streams get a lot more views after the live has ended, so thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. 6M Things, thank you. Drone Viral, great to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Aztec Drones, one of our channel members, good to see you. Stephen, the Flyby Guys, my co-host. Airscape, hi. Max Air 420, have to do that little symbol because that's what we put to the chat. There you go. Even though I don't think I'm cool enough to use that symbol, but there we go. And yes, as Aztec Drone says, I'm not spending any more money. Well, yes, well, I have the advantage that I haven't had to spend any money because the awesome Mansour Ali over at alishanmao channel, which, but by the way, there's a link in the description to his channel. It's a channel I've only just found when someone very kindly sent me this unboxing video, and it has 311,000 subscribers. It's got tons of tech and RC stuff on there. It's an awesome channel, and it's a really genuine channel as well. I've actually been watching quite a few of the videos this morning. It's superb. There is a link in the description, so please do go over and subscribe to him. I'm also putting a link in the chat right now as well. And yeah, it's a as I say, fantastic channel. And he got his hands on one of the Hubsan Zino Mini Pros, and yeah, he very kindly allowed us to react to his unboxing. So we'll be doing that in just a couple of minutes. 6M Things, Geeksvana, how many years have you been in the drone community? I've been playing with drones for years now. The channel's been going, this channel's actively been going for just about 2 years. And in actual fact, I wanted to say thank you as well, everybody. We'll be doing a full video on this at some point, but we did reach just over the 10,000 subscribers overnight. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It means the absolute world to me. I didn't think we'd ever get to 10,000 subscribers. This is a very niche channel, serving a very niche audience within that niche. A niche and a niche and a niche. So I really do appreciate you all supporting the channel in that way. It is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Stephen Mills, the Zino Mini or wait for the next DJI Mini to arrive. I currently have an MA2 in the UK. I need a sub 250G. That's an interesting one, actually. I haven't had my hands on the Zino Pro, but after this, we should answer that question because as a Mini and a Mini 2 owner myself, and I have the MA2 and MA2S, then the DJI drone is very strong, and I'm looking forward to seeing when Mansour does some flying videos on it as well, which is another reason to head over there and subscribe via the link in the chat or the description. But let's head into it, shall we? Let's now the first part I'm not going to talk over because I want you all to hear Mansour's introduction, and also he then heads straight into actually weighing the drone, which is a fantastic idea to have this in the unboxing video early.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, alishanmao here, and check this out.
Hi, Mansour.
Long-awaited Hubsan Zino Mini Pro aerial filming drone is right here in my hands. This ultralight, 249 grams only, aerial filming drone, Hubsan Zino Mini Pro.
It looks nice.
Some of the coolest features that Hubsan has advertised. I know we all have been waiting for this quadcopter for a while now, and there have been unexpected delays. but I'm happy that things are moving forward. So without making any more delays from my side, let me show you a quick unboxing, then we'll take a closer look at Hubsan Zino Mini Pro, talk about its features very quickly, and I will then get it ready for flight and take it out for flight video testings, which will be the next video in this video series on my channel. So let's get to work right away.
So already a fantastic video. I love it when videos in the very first few seconds show you exactly what you want to see, which is the drone itself. So the bag actually looks very similar to a DJI offering, which is interesting. Again, you know, there's going to be DJI comparisons, isn't there? The batteries, again, they have that cylindrical backloading look to them, and of course you have that large hub there, which is the charging hub, and the drone itself. Interestingly, they come with a heat sink guard and a gimbal cover, and there is the controller.
Take a closer look at the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. All right, the very first thing that everybody wants to know is the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro.
Thank you for doing this, Mansour.
249 grams or not. So let's put it to the test. Right here is our scale. Turn it on and make sure that it is on 0. Now do notice that I have removed the gimbal protection cover and the bottom sensor or heat sink cover right there, okay? And if I put the quadcopter on, it's 149 grams.
Okay.
149.3. So
pretty
now
light.
I'm just gonna insert a battery in the quadcopter right here and put it on the scale. And that's 249.6 grams right there. You can see it very clearly. So there you have the Hubsan Zino Mini.
So 249.6 grams. That's interesting, isn't it? Because of course the Mini and the Mini 2 have been under the 249 listed weight, yeah, that doesn't give you too much flexibility in terms of having accessories and perhaps a strobe for nighttime, that type of thing. But I mean, I don't fly my Mini 2 with many accessories at all, so it's interesting. It's it's under the 250, which is obviously fantastic, and it's in its state ready to fly, because of course it doesn't have an SD card that gets put into it. Geeksvana is saying, interesting, they make it the same color as the DJI. Why not make it a different color so people see it's not DJI? And yeah, that's interesting actually, isn't it? Because you got things like Autel went in a very different direction, and have their orange drone, which I quite like. But again, you see that orange color, and in fact, if you see that orange color elsewhere, I think of Autel, not the other way around, frankly, which is interesting.
Pro, according to the drone laws around the world, this is legal to fly. All right, let's take a closer look at the quadcopter. If you want to know about all the features of this quadcopter, check out the link in video description that will take you to Hubsan official website for the Zino Mini Pro, and you can read all about the features there. I will definitely show you the features in the end of this video, but right now let's take a closer look at the quadcopter, because I'm sure you all have been waiting for that. This is the folding form of this Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. It's really
very neat.
Small. As you can see, it fits in my hands just like this. And I can tell you, I have...
Clearly, looking at the form factor, they have gone for the DJI. I don't want to say clone, because the problem is if you want to do a small folding drone that's under 250 grams, there's only so many ways it can look, of course. It has to have 4 arms and a body. But certainly the design characteristics, even down to the gimbal guard, are sort of esque of that.
Small hands, all right? So this is just as big as my hand right here. So this is the folding form. You can see from the front. So there are 2 cameras right here on the front, which are for the front obstacle avoidance. Okay,
it's exciting.
There
is some more information coming up about the obstacle avoidance.
And its gimbal cover, which I will show you how easy it is to remove and why I like it. And then we are here at the back side.
And at the back there, you can see this very slightly different shade of grey that depicts where the heat sink and sensor guard is to protect it whilst it's in its packaging.
You can see the battery. There's a USB port here, okay, and 2 more cameras for the rear obstacle detection and avoidance. Okay, this is the side view. Now let's unfold the quadcopter. So I'm just going to unfold it.
Now, when I first watched this video, that was one of the things that actually quite impressed me. It doesn't feel it doesn't look like it feels too flimsy. There was, very sort of chunky sort of movements to the arms opening up, and the very, very confident movements to that. So it seems to have some build quality.
And this is the size right after unfolding.
Let me know in the chat, actually, if anybody has already ordered one of these, or if anybody is tempted to order one of these.
It's still pretty small, I can tell you that. This is still pretty small.
Very small.
All right. Now, one thing you might notice, there's a kind of cage down here, which I'm also wondering, what is it? So here it is. As you can see, there's a kind of protection cage, plastic cage light that will help with the optical flow, position and altitude hold at night. We have 2 of these time of flow TOF sensors that actually make the drone to hold the altitude and the distance from the ground very precisely by constantly taking pictures, and the processor will determine and do its job to hold the position precisely. And then down here you have another camera for the downward obstacle avoidance. So yes, as you might be wondering, there are no side obstacle avoidance sensors.
Okay.
We have on the front, we have on the rear, and we have on the bottom
I mean, that is still a lot of sensors for a sub 250 gram drone. That's this I think the whole sensor side of things and the whole obstacle avoidance side of things is going to be very, very interesting, because of course it's one of the things that we want to see on the next mini evolution, so that we can have things like follow me mode, etc., without having to use the Litchi app. So it's very interesting. People are asking what the price is. Following the links, if you head across to Mansour's channel in the link there's a few links to the 1 battery, 2 battery, 3 battery, 4 battery combos, and they come in and start at with 1 battery on the 64 gigabyte, because of course these drones come with internal memory rather than having an SD card spot. The 64 gigabyte starts at 499, and the 128 gigabytes that comes with 128 gigabytes of storage on board is 549. That's both the 1 battery versions there. So not cheap, but again, I suppose with something like a fully censored sub 250 gram drone, perhaps that's the sort of price we're going to be expecting to see the Mini 3 coming on. Yes, Gixer says sensors move the 250 gram drone game on a leap. Indeed, there is actually an update coming up on specifically on the sensors in this video as well, actually, which is interesting. Stephen Mill says drone looks good. Will the software be as good as the Go Fly app? Indeed, and that's one of the things, because I know that other people that have already got this drone that have given me feedback have found that they're already being informed that certain things will start working once firmware updates happen, and certain things will happen once firmware updates happen. That to me as a DJI flyer is a small negative from the point of view that I'm used to being able to turn the drone on and get everything that it says on the box pretty much straight away, and then we get things like zoom, etc., further down the line with updates.
Obstacle avoidance sensors, but we do not have anything on the left and right side, nor on the top side. So make sure you keep an eye on the surroundings when you're flying the quadcopter sideways, because there are no obstacle avoidance sensors. Also, I have been told the obstacle avoidance, for now, these sensors will make the quadcopter or drone stop flying whenever they detect an obstacle in front, back, or down. So quadcopter will stop flying. It will not avoid and fly over or around the object that is blocking the way.
Okay, that's interesting.
Is a kind of feature Hubsan is working on, and it might come later with a firmware upgrade. So when there is an obstacle in front or behind.
So yes, and then as the on-screen message says, Hubsan engineers are working on the algorithms to avoid objects and keep flying. For now, the drone will just stop when it detects objects. So once the feature's out, it will be updated on the firmware, which is interesting, because obviously the initial release videos and promo videos for this drone did show it avoiding things rather than just stopping, which is still, if it's going to stop, that's great. But with a smaller drone, there would have been an advantage to it to keep on flying. So hopefully they'll have that come out fairly soon. How do you feel about that in the chat? It'd be interesting to know whether you think that obviously having avoidance sensors on a sub 250-gram drone is fantastic. We have to expect some form of updates required to get everything working, I suppose. But how do you feel about the sensors stopping and not
the quadcopter
continuing flying?
drone,
Let me know.
it will actually avoid it, fly over it, or fly around it and keep flying. But for now, if it has an obstacle in front of it, it will stop flying and not hit the obstacle. Okay, so this is this. Now there was another question somebody asked me if there is a TF card holder. So let's see if we can find a TF card holder on this. It says right here there's a sticker warning, memory card cannot be inserted here, please remove this before flying. Okay, so this is not the memory card slot, it's just a sticker. Okay, I can see it's like a memory card slot, but it's closed inside, so there is no memory card slot right here, but they did say remove the sticker before flying. Now you must be wondering, how do you record the videos? Well, Hubsan Zino Mini Pro has a built-in high-speed 64G or 128G built-in memory, so I don't think you actually need a TF card. I mean, I'm told that my Zino Mini Pro came with 128G built-in memory. I don't think I actually need a separate TF card. I don't have to. 120G is just a lot of memory right here. If you're shooting 4K videos, even then, it's a lot of memory.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we have vents here. Okay, we have air vents at the both side, as you can see. Gimbal protection cover is very easy to remove.
That's
and
cool.
You can see that it has this thing, this part that is nice and movable. So when you want to add the gimbal protection cover back on, it's actually very, very
so it closes
easy
like a hammer.
to
That's
put
clever.
it back on. Very easy to install. So this is your 4K camera with 3-axis stabilized gimbal. Make sure to remove this little film from the lens before flying, or you will have blurry images. Now the other feature that you are gonna love about the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro is that it has a large CMOS sensor. That is 1 by 1.3, a large CMOS sensor. So you are going to have a lot of fun shooting videos. The videos and pictures should be very, very clear, and especially night shots, low light night shots should be.
Just a shout out to Mansour there for having that that YouTuber thing that I have as well when I'm showing drones on camera, where I have to have all the props neatly going down the arms.
Very, very nice and clear. So that's what I'm gonna put it to test as well for the night shots. Now battery is very, very easy to pull out by pressing these two notches right here, and
excellent
insert and installation of battery is all.
That looks pretty sturdy. That does. I mean, I was, when the first Mini came out, I was concerned about the door at the back, the sort of flimsy-ish door. I've never had any issues with it whatsoever, but this does look like a sturdy alternative.
There's a button here for turning the quadcopter on by turning the battery power on. Okay, brushless motors, propellers, all the things that you have already.
How do you guys feel in the
Nothing more
chat
to see
about
here.
having to use the onboard memory? Does that cause you an issue from any point of view? I suppose having to have the, I presume the quad might need to be switched on when you're downloading, but otherwise I don't see an issue with it.
Put it aside. Now let's take a look at the radio control.
Here she is.
The radio control is almost the same size of Hubsan Zino 2 Plus. If I remember, we have the function button right here. We have a dial for controlling the camera pitch, picture and video button. Then we have the antennas, a big nice LCD screen right here. Then we have these gimbals, and you have auto return to home, power and flight mode switches. And then when you pull this out, you have this.
Yeah, good point, Tony. It does allow you to forget about the SD cards, which is very handy.
2 gimbal sticks already installed in the radio right here. So they did provide you an extra pair should you lose these sticks.
I do have an update in a couple of minutes for those of you asking about how it flies.
Look at the charger. Look at that, man.
That's a chunky charger, isn't it?
Hubsan is actually thinking nowadays. So we have this charger which can charge 4 batteries at the same time. And not only this, you can also use it as a power bank to charge your mobile devices, because you have a USB port right here, so you can basically use it as a portable power bank as well. Very, very nice. So this, then you have a wall outlet, okay, and we have these cables, USB micro, USB-C, and iPad, iPhone cable. You have this USB cable for your charger, and then another one right here, and a screwdriver. Before I go, do remember to comment on this video if you have any questions regarding Hubsan Zino.
Okay, so I mean, I'm personally pretty impressed so far, I have to say. I'm certainly one of the people that was unsure about whether or not this drone would be any kind of quality whatsoever. Certainly look at the build quality on the ground and everything else like that. It looks pretty good. Now, one of the reasons I've come on at this time of day is actually that Mansour has his next video premiering at 1 p.m, which is 1 p.m. UK time, which is only in about 10 minutes time. I don't want to look at that arm. My watch is on this arm. So I'm going to pop a link in the chat to that video. I'm sure you'd all like to go across and have a look and see if there is flight video on there, but it's the next update that he has on the awesome little drone. Yes, GMI visuals, it weighs 249.6 grams. I can actually bring you back to this. And there we go. There is the weighing process for you, GMI. I hope you're well. Yes, and yeah, so do head across and watch that live premiere, which is starting in 8 minutes now. And if you're watching the replay, pop across and watch it as a replay as well. Do let him know that you've come from Geeksvana. Do put a hashtag Geeksvana in the chat. That will be good fun. I'll certainly see you guys over there because I'll be watching it. RRP. Again, you're looking at, for the 64 gigabyte one battery version, $499 US, and for 128 gigabyte, $549 US. And then they have packs going up from that. If you head across to the link over on Mansour's channel, you'll be able to get links directly to the Hubsan site as well there, which is cool, which also supports his channel as well. As you know, we don't have affiliate links here on Geeksvana, so I've got no problem at all sending the business over to somebody else who's been very, very kind enough to allow us to show you this video. And again, a big shout out to Mansour Ali of alishanmao. There is a link in the chat. There's also a link in the description to the original video of this and also his channel. I really would recommend popping across. I've already, within a few hours of knowing its existence, I've become a big fan of the channel, because there's a lot of great RC content and tech content generally. There's some really different content, actually, I have to say. It's one of those channels you come across occasionally like, why didn't I know about this? It's 311,000 subscribers and I had no idea this existed, which again is the beauty of YouTube. There's so many niche channels out there. So again, thank you very much for joining us. That was the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro being unboxed by Mansour Ali. I'm going to head across now and watch his next video update, which hopefully will show some flying and a bit more detail, but I know he's going to be running a series of videos on this. At some point when the supplies start heading across the Atlantic, we will be getting our hands on one of these, but I thought it was a nice way of showing you this drone fairly early on. Again, I wanted to give everybody a shout out and thank you very, very much for helping my channel hit the 10,000 subscriber mark. We breached that last night. I really, really do appreciate it. If you are new here and you want to see this kind of content, drone and tech focused content, which can be anything from news stories through to unboxing reactions and unboxings of my own and that type of thing, then do remember to hit the subscribe button. And I would really appreciate it if everyone that's watching now could smash that like button. It really does help the algorithm, nudge the algorithm to say, hey, go watch, go suggest Geeksvana's videos out there. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. We have another video coming out in 2.5 hours time, which is looking at ND filters. It's a very, very, now I'm not an expert on ND filters, so I'm learning with the audience. This is my introduction to ND filter video, essentially, specifically for the Air 2S. And we're actually going to be giving away a value pack of something like £130, British pounds, of Freewell filters, an all-day pack, which is like eight filters basically, which is the start of our ND filter video series. We've got a couple more coming after that, which again will be giving away yet more filters, so I'm really excited about that. Also, there is a link in the description to our Discord channel, where we're giving away, if you're in the UK, we're giving away an A2 CofC course, and if you're over in the States, we're giving away one of the M0A Remote Pilot 101 Part 107 courses, which obviously is a lifetime membership there. So they're both being given away on the Discord channel. There's links in the community tab to all of that as well. But join me in a couple of hours for our live premiere of that video and find out how you can win those particular filters. And I'll be live again for our normal Thursday night show tomorrow night at 9 p.m. The link will be going live very soon, which is actually, I'm going to be joined by the CEO of Otel, Randall Warness. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It should be very interesting, again, to interact with somebody who is helping to shape the future of drones as a hobby, and very much with Otel as enterprise user. So do join us for that one. Thank you everybody for joining us again. I will see you on Discord. If you're not a member of Discord, go join it. We can chat one-on-one. We chat about everything from drones to life in general. There's even a little rant channel in there where you can just have a rant about things, etc. But it's already becoming a great community place for us all to support each other and find different places to fly and find out information about editing and YouTube and drones and tech and all sorts of things. So I will see you over there. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.